And without further ado, let's get into Bronze League Heroes, as in the top right-hand corner, spawning as the orange pieces. It's gonna be Christy, and in the bottom left, our Terran hero, Roby, with the depot. On the other side, Christy opting for the depot gas and then SCV build. So both of these players have a very creative way of expanding, or at least building early on. So I got to take some notes, always looking for fresh builds, and both these players are breaking them out to start. And it's a Terran versus Terran. Terran versus Terran can take a lot of turns and twists, especially at this level. It's one of those matchups where you can throw away your entire army in 1 second, almost literally, by flying 5 medevacs into turrets and marines, by running into siege tanks, by pretty much trying to micro it all. All of these. Oh, and both of them looks like we have a relative mirror build here. It is a double Rex versus a double Rex going up against one another. Will this be Reapers, or are we going to start with Marines? Thank you, music, for expanding on my point. A second gas on the way. So is he looking to tech up, or does he just feel like he should be making a gas geyser? Probably a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, and it looks like we have another TPM-focused player. Of course, TPM, one of the most important statistics. DPM and TPM are what we're really looking for in a Bronze League Heroes player. They're really indicative of the level of play that we're striving for. Of course, DPM is depots per minute, and TPM turrets per minute. Our record on TPM is about 3.2. Our record on DPM has reached 5 before, but usually it's more like 2 or 3. So we'll have to see if either of these players can break those records. Nothing so far. We have one orbital going out, and an orbital already completed on the other side. We do have the Reapers being produced. Both players making Reapers. Only one of them sending them across the map, though. A bit of a supply block going to be coming out for Christy. What are you doing with this? There's a factory being produced, and the Reaper's looking to get aggressive. Both these APMs come by over 100 APM between these two players. As the first Reapers come up, Christy going to be getting aggressive, but there are 3 Reapers, and oftentimes 3 is more than 2. The Reapers may be in a little bit too deep. They regret their life choices, but they won't have much more time to contemplate it. Hopefully they took out life insurance, but the palaces are so expensive, especially if you don't have an orbital command to bank up that money for later. Unfortunately, those Reapers will not be remembered. The expansion is on the way. Beautiful layout of these depots, by the way. A nice little pathway for units to come out of the barracks and feel like they are they're special as they walk down the pathway of the depots. On the other side, we do have a Cyclone on the way, an expansion as well. So similar strategies so far. Both players getting engineering bays. Christy has gotten his engineering bay. He has yet to use it, but the idea is there. Okay. Is that... Okay, a starport's on the way. On the other side of starport as well, we have 6 Reapers ready to make their attack. Unfortunately, a Marauder and a Cyclone have already completed. Depot has dropped down. That's not a bad choice considering he is supply bombed. The Reapers are going to jump in. Beautiful response time out of Christy. Going at the back. +1 infantry weapons is on the way. This Cyclone going to help out a lot. Do we have any nades thrown out? We talked about the dangers of trying to micro, and Roby doing a good job of demonstrating them here. The SCV coming in, the body block, and what? Both of them doing a little bit of a slap fight until finally executing the Reaper. We see a tech lab, a reactor, another Rax on the way, so coming together with a solid infrastructure Going with the gas before floating the command center over. So he really wants that gas. I'm not sure what he's going to use it for, but he really wants it, so. Alright. The SCV transfer, the perfect amount of well, not anymore. And both these players ramping up their production. Their infrastructure is coming together. Christie, a little bit lacking, but he does have the upgrade a bit quicker. On the other side, we see no medevacs, instead a choice of Liberators here. And Roby is still scrambling from the loss of those Reapers. He's still building Reapers, in fact. Not sure of the efficacy of those in this scenario, but at least he's building something. So we'll give him credit for that. The two Widowmines burrowed down. Not a bad choice. It's doubtful he will realize they are in place before he walks in, as Christie looks to be doing a bit of a counterattack. Alright. 2 Cyclones in front, but 2 good Widowmine hits. Could make all the difference. 1 Cyclone. No, not quite. He sees the Widowmines. He scans. Doesn't really do anything about the Widowmines, but he sees them. The turret will not quite finish off that medevac. That's going to make this a lot more difficult. The mines will burrow on the other side. He doesn't target down the medevac. Only 7 HP left. The Widowmines are zoning him out of the rest of this. The Liberator ready to siege up, but the beautiful turret placement will turn the Liberator away before it even sieges. That medevac continually triggering me as it looms in the sky with a strong gust of wind would blow this medevac away, but the Marines are unable to focus it. The command center taking heavy fire. It will go down. And most of the time I would say, oh. Oh, no, don't go with the main. Oh, playing with fire right now. And he unloads the medevac with 7 HP. And the... And he will continue to attack in the main. The supplies are dead even. Christie microing his heart out. And let's just ignore the fact he has 1,776... Well, he just spent most of his money, but 1,700 minerals at home. He queued up Marines on all of his barracks. So at least he has some... Oh my god, don't do it! Ah! He's microing so hard. Let's go to the Christie Totino's action cam. Alright, as he continues to micro, when he should be microing his macro. And the medevac, will it escape? It's trying to get away. He's not even looking at it, but it will escape. Alright. And thankfully, you know, here's the thing. Here's the beauty of Bronze League heroes. Is that if that medevac had died a minute ago, then Christie would be way further ahead. If that medevac had just simply died, and this Liberator had just simply died, Christie would have no choice but to actually figure out a way to spend his money. But because that medevac did not die, instead, Christie has tunnel visioned his way, and that tunnel just keeps digging himself into a deeper hole, and the supplies are surprisingly even. Alright, back to the everyone cam. No, don't load it up again! Ah! Jesus. Don't you dare. Don't you dare try to drop with that motherfucker. Is he gonna... And the repair, the war hero. So right now, Roby can be thankful he did not kill any of those units. Because Christie, like a moth to a flame, like a noob to a medevac with 7 HP, had nothing else in mind but what was right in front of him. And the demo drop comes out. A third base coming out for Roby. Very macro-oriented player. On the other side, somehow there's 4 Reapers again. So these are coming in. The Marine will be shot down in the street as the Reapers go into the main. It's time for the Roby's RC Cola Action Micro Cam Premium Deluxe Edition. Use the promotional code N00B for 20% off your next case of RC Cola, the best of the rest, as the Reapers will be taken out. And the double drop comes in. The planetary fortress is building. The Vikings coming to help. The stim will be utilized, but the medevacs have been taken out. All that for nothing. And every single one of those units will be gunned down, and the supplies dead even once again. The Liberator, no kills yet. The worker counts 23 to 29. Roby has suffered some losses. Bow now, no, no. Bow. Bow, 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 bow. Anyways, we finally have the infrastructure once again being focused on for Christie. He has the money in the bank, and he's finally finding a way to spend it. It does not gain interest over time. And as we have a lull in the action, this high-paced roller coaster of a match has a dip for a moment before it could explode into action once again. Alright. Stim, the 11-minute and 30-second stim pack is on the way for Roby. Kind of the motto, Roby, better late than never. And that will help his units out if he does choose to engage. Christie doesn't have that combat shields, which could affect these fights quite dramatically. Both players supply blocked heavily, but Roby is producing a handful of supply depots. Dead even, 85 to 85 supply. It looks like Christie going to try to engage a planetary fortress. I talked about how you could throw the game away in seconds. It looks like Christie gonna work out his pitching arm. And he comes in. And he stim. Nope, no stim. Okay. As both players. No stim out of Christie. The planetary is not main repaired. The SCV's okay. They're back in action. He's going for it. He's going to try to snipe the tank. He gets it. The pressure will be relieved, at least temporarily. And he makes sure to pick up right in range of that planetary so we can see everything that's happening. Alright. The Marines doing their best to follow, but they will be left behind, besides the ones that sacrifice themselves to the blood gods. The drop in the main. How will Roby respond? He's up on supply, but he's completely out of position. As he scrambles back to defend, he does have stim, but I think he's forgotten how to use it. And the stim Marines and Marauders are coming forward. One by one, the Marines came in to die. And one by one, they did on either side. And Christie will be shut down. The medevac will fall. And he will once again be driven back. Christie continually the aggressor, but Roby putting up a beautiful show on defense. Alright. Both these players rocketing up to 44 versus 30. Wait, actually, Roby's been building SCVs. Great job. He's looking towards the future. He's creating more jobs for SCVs. And in the long run, that's how you grow an economy. All right? You can rely on mule stimulus, but really it's those high-paying, blue mineral jobs that we need to bring back into the Terran economy. We need to keep them here. We need to keep them going. We need to protect them from interest from abroad. Christie, of course, coming to an aggressive stance. Both these players doing their best to get supply blocked for over half of the game. Now, the army supply is pretty even, but a lot of Roby's supply is either in the mail or in Marauders, which don't do quite as much damage. Christie is forming up outside this third base. He's got a siege tank once again. The one-by-one siege tank strategy. It worked out pretty well last time. Marauders step forward. Christie is going to try to engage. He's going for the siege tank at the cost of losing all his units to the Marines. So Roby, he had a dream. Oh god, he's going for the planetary. Will there be a repair? The SCVs are not in time! And the Marines are tearing through the front. The SCVs don't know what to do with their lives. And the army is scrambling to defend, but it's not going to be enough. And he loads up into the medevacs and then proceeds to let the medevacs be gunned out of the sky. So, from the fire into the deadly flames there, the SCV's trying to mine. That's all they want to do with their lives, but unfortunately, it's not going to work out. As Christie continues to take these engagements that are just good enough. And he doesn't decide to press the issue. He's waiting for another round of production. But neither of these players really banking up that much money, considering. Plenty of SCVs are waiting for employment options, of which there are very few at the moment, unfortunately, for Roby. It's 101 to 65 supply. Thank you, semantics. And that's up as well. So what can Roby do here? He doesn't really have that many units. He's building. His TPM is raising. But is it too little? Is it too late? 3 Widow Mines. If this army stims into 3 Widow Mines, that could change everything. I mean, it probably won't, but it could. Good Widow Mine placement. I think it's just barely out of the vision range here of Christie. Yeah, maybe it's time to back off a little. If Christie stims in and 3 Widow Mines connect directly with his forehead, that might be enough to knock this back. I'm not sure. The upgrade's 1-1. Oh, is he going to go for the main? And remember how easy Terran versus Terran is throw versus throw. I don't know where Christie intends to go with this one. Maybe he doesn't know. I don't think he realizes. Yeah, he just figured out there's no base over here. Roby doing a good job of continually producing. It's not over yet. It's never over till it's over. And in some cases, somebody calls GG and then realizes they have 17 more siege tanks in their main and then proceeds to bring those siege tanks across the map and win the game. And that's like 30% of the games in this league. So, it's literally never over until someone leaves the game. And the medevacs have done the world tour and are going to go back home for shore leave. Never mind. We're back on another round. Well, Roby has done a good job of macroing up an army. There's a good scan there. The Widow Mines will be removed. He stims forward. There are no medevacs. The medevacs are coming up. Just a single tank. Really clumping up the damage for that single tank, but it's gonna do a great job. And now at the same time, the medevacs are going towards the main, making sure that these turrets get as much damage as possible. And every single one! And just like that, boys, we're right. We got a game on our hands. As he lifts the main base, the supplies are within 20. There's still plenty of medevacs on the field. And Roby is within 20 supply. The Wombo combo! Oh. Christie now has 48 SCVs. Roby doesn't even, he's not even mining. He lifted both his command centers. But he's back to mining now. He's got 37 SCVs, and they finally found some fresh patches to drink in. I don't know. Oh. And, of course, the tank pushes have been working for Christie, but he has yet to really make one decisive. He now has 4 tanks. Roby has 2-1 against the 1-2 of Christie, so a bit of a trade-off here. But Roby focusing on those upgrades. He seems to be spending his money better, but Christie is more aggressive, and that's gotten him pretty far so far. Of course, if he continues down the road he's been taking recently, might not work out as well, but we'll have to see. All right. The army, does he have the... He's using the Selecta Army Hockey, it looks like. He doesn't have an Army Hockey. Christie, a big believer in the F2 gods. And of course, it is a singular deity because there's no way he could ever interpret more than one thing at a time. That's what F2 is all about. On the other side, there is an army hotkey for Roby. He does split to an extent, but I have a sneaking suspicion when it push comes to shove. He might not say it out loud, he might not say it in public, but he's a believer in F2 as well. So. Oh, the tanks are moving forward. They're sieging up. Will Roby respond? He stims forward. Don't do it. Don't do it, Roby! You devil! A lot of... Oh, my God. And Roby does his best to maximize the damage of this... Oh, Jesus. And the command center will pay the price. Don't try to dive on that tank. Don't you dare. Roby once again finding himself in a precarious position against the siege tanks. He's going to have the upgrades. Okay. Now it's time for Christie to load everything up into the medevacs and try to fly into the main again without remembering what happened the last time. Let's do it, Christie. It's time. It's that time again. All right. It's the bottom of the 9th, and we need to go to extra innings. As both these players stress to their limit. Christie seems to have had a stroke. He's dipped to 10 APM. All right, he's back. As more medevacs. Oh, my God, he's going to do it, isn't he? I'm just looking at this like, oh, he's going to do it. He's going to load this army up. Another big army coming across. He's got 2 starports pumping out. Roby, don't do it. Roby! 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 You have so much to live for! He's finished 3-2. He's like, I've got my upgrade time. Roby doing his best. Christie going to take control of the watchtower, and this might... Oh. 3-2 is done, so there's an upgrade advantage for Roby, but... I mean, just look at the supply. Don't do it, Roby. His first instinct's going to be to stim in and attack. Don't do it. Okay. The slow tank push continues. Will we actually have a finishing blow? Will we be able to finish the game here? Can he do it? Well, one by one, the Marauders offer themselves up to the Terran. Roby could definitely use a lesson in what siege tanks are. The gold base has been taken as well. The worker count 34 to 50. Not an especially high economy game here. But, oh, he's moving forward. The tank's desperately trying to figure out what to do with their lives. Now, Roby, go attack! Do it! He attacks with 3 Marauders! What the fuck? He stimmed 3 of his Marauders! Jesus. No, don't try to target the tanks. Oh, my God. Roby has a lot of medevacs. He has the upgrades. He's taking out another tank. He's taking out the other tank. The upgrades really showing their force. And somehow Roby, with the come from behind, he's got the Vikings. The medevacs are going down. And he's turning them all around. Roby, the roller coaster continues. I'm getting dizzy. I'm getting whiplash. But Roby, the people's hero, once again holds the line. He holds. Roby holds with 3-2 against 1-2. I don't even know how. I don't even know why. But the F2 gods are shining down upon Roby today and have shunned Christie. I didn't even have... It was a whisper of a dream when I said, Roby, you can live. I was hoping Christie would make a mistake, but instead, Roby, he doesn't wait for his opponent to make a mistake. Somebody should call Shakespeare. He's got competition because Roby is making the fucking plays right now. It's 111 to 142 supply. The army supplies are pretty even. A couple more upgrades are coming out of Christie, but he has yet to find a game-ending engagement. As we have 4 medevacs loaded up, we've seen this before. And then they will just kind of chill over here, because this is more exciting. Roby has held on. He's very malleable. He's very flexible. Will be enough. He's actually moving almost into position to intercept these medevacs. If he got those, the game would completely change. Planetary's on the way. Christie will drop on top. Roby, he needs to scramble back to defend. All these SCVs are going to go down. Will we be able to save the planetary Rambit? Roby is scrambling. He's lost so many SCVs, but if he can clean up this army, it might all be worth it. And he's going into the corner. He's digging himself into a deeper hole. The medevacs cannot boost. Roby's army losing focus. But Christie is cornered. These three Marauders are the only ones who really figured out what was going on. Christie literally in a corner now. The planetary will complete. That's an important factor. And somehow Roby does not... He's over here! Let's go to the Roby action cam as he's kind of given up on this. Alright, we're gonna go over this way. He's resetting his rally point. But there's a drop in the third! And so, oh my god! The TPM is through the roof! Roby already knew he was mind hacking him all along. He was ready. He was ready for that move. Oh, Christie and his medevacs just do not have a happy relationship at this point. The TPM always, like we've seen in the past, we'll see again. The TPM is the defining metric. APM means nothing. Spending means nothing. All right? Bases and income and workers mean nothing. The TPM is everything. And I think we're about to have... Who scanned who? There's a scan forward. He knows there's no army there, but he's simming into the planetary fortress. Will Christie turn around? The planetary evaporates in seconds. Do we have a base trade? Is he going to go for it? Christie is going forward. Oh, shit. And I thought this game was already crazy. We're about to hit a full base trade scenario stemming down to this planetary. Both players can rip through the armies, and we're going to be going to an elimination race. All the planetaries go down. The SCVs are slaughtered. Another attack going down towards the south. The supplies are almost dead even. The upgrades are in Roby's favor, but there are siege tanks here for Christie. He's targeting down the orbital at the cost of one or two of his medevacs. Roby's going to come back to defend, even though he has no more command centers. He can't mine. He doesn't have enough minerals if he canceled everything he's building right now. Roby has no command centers and no ability to mine. And he can't build any. Roby needs to go forward. After all of this, he has not rebuilt his base. He is being revealed. He doesn't have enough Vikings. It seems like after all, Roby's been living on borrowed time for so long. He's coming in. The siege tanks are shelling the Marines and Marauders. One at a time they trickle forward, and 1 dozen at a time they are slaughtered. And despite everything we've been through and he's been through, it looks like Christie, with those tanks and the knowledge of actually how to build siege tanks, is going to carry it through. What a roller coaster, as I always love. That was something. Putting on a